personalization in VHSs and shared experiences. So this is something that I talked about in the Toy Story 2 Iceberg, and in there I shared a story I had where I remember in the VHS for either that movie or possibly this one, that there was a logo with Luke Sr. in there, like the tall lamp. And it was just like a still picture of that over the Pixar logo or behind it. And it was like basically all in white, and how I couldn't find that anywhere. And again, it could have possibly been for this movie, and I tried looking for it there too and couldn't do it. Now, there's been a lot of different revisions and releases and so on for Toy Story 1 in terms of home media releases, especially VHSs, and there's just all kinds of ridiculous ones that you can find there. And yeah, like, this isn't even really talking about like stuff like that glitch that was in the one Toy Story 2 DVD. No, this is more like really specific small stuff, and it just seems like a number of people might have like certain memories and such of them seeing something like before and after the movie, like during like the other promos and trailers and stuff, and something that they haven't been able to see again, or some other odd thing happening to their tape that maybe others have also experienced in the past before that, again, just hasn't been able to be seen again. And yeah, it's just one of those interesting every copy's release type of things. And I don't know, do you have your own story? Lost version where Woody kills Buzz. So, considering a bit ago creepypastas and stuff were really popular, and stuff like the early renditions of the movie, and especially the Black Friday reel, and the creepypasta based on that were starting to get more and more seen and well known, it led to the point where people really got into this more cynical and assholey early version of Woody, and people saying like, oh, this Woody, he would kill Buzz, and you know, rumors can start spreading of there being a version where he really does indeed kill Buzz, and maybe it was real sometime locked deep underground in Pixar's vault. Movie is forever timeless due to current relevancy, nostalgia, and then becoming a legit look into the far-off past. This is the final entry in the Iceberg, and as you can tell, it's a really long one. Well, it's physically long, and that's exactly what it talks about, just because, like, this is something that's really mysterious and kind of freaky and odd to think about, even more so than thinking about the past. And this entry refers to both the past, present, and future. Now, the first two are obvious, so current relevancy, that refers to when it was first released, and, you know, still now to a degree because it's still such a popular movie. And then nostalgia, that's obvious. I don't need to say more of that. But then becoming a legit look into the far-off past. This refers to when it gets to the point, if people are still around, when the movie is still really old. Well, I guess if people are still around and have means to watch stuff, I guess basically if the world is in a complete fucking unlivable shit show. Anyway, this is when it gets to the point where the movie is like pushing 100 years old, or even way older, maybe even way beyond that, to the point where like the 1990s is just like some sort of like lost civilization. And yeah, like this, like I said before, how Toy Story 2 is like this definitive look back into like the 90s and like what made it special as like a kid just like doing mundane things. And Toy Story 1 also kind of gives a similar glimpse like that, where people can kind of like look at and be like, oh, this is kind of what like imagination and what like this area and how this felt as a kid at the time. And you know, like it's for that, like not just like this is like a stepping stone of like animation and movies and stuff, like no, it's also kind of like that, and like this would be kind of like a time capsule for people to see and how it was like at that time, even if it is like this odd plasticky CG. And I don't know, just that kind of stuff when you think about the far future and how stuff that's like normal to you will look like to that. Yeah, it's just kind of a really fucking weird vibe, which is why this is at the very bottom of the charts. But anyways, that does it for the Toy Story 1 Iceberg. Again, there's a one for the sequel too if you want to see that. Otherwise, thank you for watching this whole entire thing. Until next time.